In this video, I'm going to take you through the 5 exam day predictions that I asked ChatGPT what it thought was going to come up on the March 2026 ACCA SBL exam sitting for the company Merceh. If you'd like access to my exclusive SBL notes you can see above me that has helped students around the world to pass their SBL exam, just click the link in the description of this video or in my bio and you can download a copy yourself. I'm also delighted to say I'm affiliated and associated with Astranti. They offer mock examination packs and pre-scene analysis on Merceh specifically, and if you click the links in the description of this video you can check out those fantastic resources. And for pure transparency, as always on the channel, if you were to purchase anything, I'd be entitled to a small percentage which goes to supporting the channel. And as always, if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I will get back to you because ChatGPT's first exam day prediction, and I just want to caveat this, it is just purely what has come out. I've got it all written down here, with the first one being performance management and strategic KPIs on there for your notes. So why is this likely to come up in ChatGPT's experience and its nows? Let's have a look on it there. So we've got down here the revenue split, publication versus advertising, the key points as well of operating profit margin of 27%, and the print sales volume and the energy consumptions linking to performance. Then other things that the examiner is setting up for performance analysis. We've been told the market size of $8 billion. Merceh is in the top 5 and the industry consolidation is going on. That is where we should be looking at in terms of the actual challenges. And again, I'll take you through some of the notes as we're going through here so you can see where it's referring to. So this is where the continuous consolidation of takeovers and buyouts. The likely requirements that could come up from this area in terms of performance management is analysis of financial and non-financial performance, assessing the quality of earnings, recommending new KPIs, which I do agree with on there in a digital era, because some of the KPIs that are actually given in the pre-scene notes aren't very specific. They're actually some of the areas, like you can see on the screen now where I've got my mouse, like earnings per share, free cash flows, we're not actually given any information on that in the pre-scene materials. Evaluating acquisition proposals and linking performance to the actual mission. So that is where you can see about the mission on page 7. Is it actually linking into the actual authors and readers as being part of one large community and engaging its readers to enhance their experience? The areas of the SBL syllabus that it will test are, as you would imagine, performance management, data analysis, strategic control, investment appraisal, and this is the key bit for the potential scenarios. Advertising revenue growth slows, printing volume is flatlining, why is that the case? Proposal to acquire a small publisher, I think that's pretty good, I quite like that one. Division underperforming, and shift in the revenue mix towards digital, so going away from hard copy. So that is area number 1 for exam prediction from ChatGPT, performance management and strategic KPIs. Now, area number 2 is all about risk management and cyber security analysis on there, or crisis, shall we say. First of all, you've got to go to page 6 on the right-hand side where we have the potential risks and the impacts. That is where the pre-scene explicitly highlights cybersecurity risk, data protection, the supply dependency, algorithm changes, and the legal risks on there. Page 6 for your notes. The syllabus areas in the SBL area of the syllabus, the enterprise risk management, cyber governance, internal control, and business contingency planning. This is where potential scenarios to get down for your notes is a data breach affecting the subscribers. We've also got a platform outage before publication date, so they've been told it's going to be a monthly publication and they don't make it. A potential lawsuit, social media algorithm changes, reducing the actual demand, or maybe some ransomware attack on there. So then we come on to likely requirements, how you could link it into some of the key pre-scene notes you can see on the screen. So identifying and evaluating those key risks, potentially utilizing the TARA model you can see on the screen. Proposing risk mitigation, adequacy in terms of the risk committee. So this is where you can refer to the actual board of directors on here. where they actually have, I've gone the wrong way, but we'll get there anyway. Here it is on the right hand side on page 8. So you can see up at the top, I'll put my mouse on it. It also has a risk committee, which is not required by the code, so we could link it into the regulator. And lastly, evaluate IT governance and arrangements. So that is exam prediction number 4, risk management and cyber security crisis on there. Now, area number 3, or exam tip number 3 for a prediction is sustainability, CSR and greenwashing risk. Now, I think this as well is a good shout because there are actual technical articles on the ACCA SBL website that go into this. And if you look on page 9, we're given a CSR responsibility statement. So there are strong areas in the pre-C materials, according to GPT, about sustainability embedded in the mission. As we can see that, I think it was on the one above on page 7. Sustainable paper sourcing, reducing emissions, transparent reporting, and energy consumption as well, linked to those KPIs we've touched on earlier. The syllabus areas, as you would imagine, for SBL, this covers CSR, integrated reporting, stakeholder management, and climate and environmental risk. And we're given a breakdown of all those different stakeholders. As you can see on the screen there on the left-hand side, internal and external, you could refer this to. Now, the likely requirements for this, evaluating credibility of CSR claims. In other words, what are we saying? Is it actually being implemented? This is where, if you want to go on to page number 8 now on the right-hand side, an example, I'll put my mouse on it now. You can see where we're told on here that Merceh sources paper from several paper suppliers and states publicly that its paper suppliers obtain their raw material supplies from sustainable sources. So it states publicly it's coming from sustainable sources. Does that actually happen? So again, little things that could come up on there. Assessing reputational risk, linking sustainability to strategy, and suggesting KPIs and assurance mechanisms on there. So potential scenarios that we need to be looking at on here. First of all, paper supplies accused of unsustainable sourcing, as we've touched on there on page 8. Investors demanding ESG disclosures. We are told about EPS in the KPIs, so again, possibly on there. Climate-related disruption to the supply chain. That was in the risk register, and proposal to reduce print frequency for environmental reasons. So again, plenty for you to talk about. Sustainability, CSR and greenwashing risk is the exam prediction number 3. Now, exam prediction number 2, again, is going to link into on page 7 now, and it's going to, actually page 5 if we come up to it, for the industry body, the Newspaper Magazine Standards Authority. Number 2, exam prediction, is governance, independence and ethical tension. Why is this a case on here? Well, if we look at the breakdown of the board of directors that we can see actually on page 7, this is where we're given the institutional shareholders have a 60% holding, 30% for the directors and 10% for the other shareholders. Directors hold 30% and therefore a significant influence, and they've got down here potential dominance issue. We're also told the 50-50 executive and NED split, which is a good point on there. Separate risk committee, interesting detail. Ethical code and the regulator. In other words, this is classic SBL governance territory. The syllabus areas, corporate governance, ethical leadership, agency theory and internal controls, as you would imagine. Likely requirements to get down in your notes, just to think to yourself if it came up. Evaluate effectiveness of the governance structure. Discuss the actual independence of the NEDs, so that's substance over form. Recommend improvements for the board composition. Things like, are they actually specialists in the magazine industry? Advise audit committee on content risk controls. That could link into the plagiarism risk. And discuss tone at the top and ethical culture. If you have a look on page 3, that is where you could refer back to the different editors and the processes from going from start to finish to actually publish the magazines. So possible scenarios that you could be asked on for a governance, independence and ethical tension. We have a controversial article leads to a regulator investigation. A director interferes with an editorial independence. executive remuneration linked to short-term profit despite declining prints. So that is where agency theory could come in, or a board conflict between sustainability and profit, which I think sounds the most likely on there. So that's exam prediction number 2 on there, linking it to governance, independence, and ethical tension. Now, last but by no means least, prediction number 5 is a business model transformation linking into a digital strategy. Now, why is this a case? We have a print market is declining sector-wide on there, so you can have a look at that on page 10. You've got the diagrams, you could refer to some figures going down year on year. Merceh publish all magazines in both formats, but no email distribution for digital. Uses the same digital platform for years, and the platform only has limited multimedia capability. So again, revenue is rising, but print volume is relatively flat on there and actually decreasing. So this screams out strategic repositioning. In other words, they've got to pivot, they've got to change with what is changing by the demands and the tastes and preferences of the customers. The areas of the syllabus to have a look in your SBL resources are strategic position, innovation and digital disruption, data analytics and performance management, and risk management, as you would imagine. So that is where points that link into this, you'll see anything digital comes up on the risk register on the right hand side on page 6. So cybersecurity, the legal aspects of it, content wise, and likely requirements we have down here along with SBL models, evaluating those strategic options. So that could be Ansof's matrix or the SAF model. If you have a look on my notes up at the top, I've listed all of those down. Recommend digital transformation strategy, advise on risks of platform dependency. So again, linking back to that risk register. Assess the impact on the stakeholders, that's readers, advertisers, making sure that you're aware of all of the different stakeholders on there, and applying the sector information on page 2. And KPIs to measure the digital success. So going back down in your notes to those KPIs that you can see there on page 6 and 7, actually having some more digital focused KPIs, because the likely requirements or possible scenarios for this prediction are coming up on here about introducing paywalls for premium content. This is where actually the customers will pay on a monthly basis. We're told about this in the pre-scene notes further on, as you can see on the screen on the right hand side. And basically this is where we want a recurring income coming in actually month by month, and then it can also link to those extra content that is provided on there. So it could be additional website material, email newsletters, podcasts, social media as well. That links into launching a podcast or a video channel, upgrading the digital publishing platform, moving to a digital first content model, or partnering with app stores or tech platforms. Again, we're told about this throughout as to linking it into partnerships, and the digital app stores, which they're referred to, is at the top of page 3, and I've got that down as a SWOT analysis point as an opportunity. So that is the final exam prediction from ChatGPT, business model transformation, particularly in terms of digital and changing the strategy for Merceh Co based on the pre-scene materials. And if any of these were to come up, which again, it is purely what I've just gone on as a bit of entertainment on there to see what ChatGPT actually thought about it. The main way that you are going to pass your SBL exam is take whatever they give you on the exam day for the requirements in the exhibits and in the scenario, apply it to the magazine industry, knowing the pre-scene materials inside in, inside out, knowing the actual models that you can see on my pre-scene notes, and you've got to apply these to the information given to you on the exam day. Well, that takes you through everything top to bottom that ChatGPT thought was going to come up on your SBL March 2026 exam. If you would like a copy of my exclusive notes you can see on the screen, just click the link in the description or in my bio and you can have a copy yourself, along with making sure you check out those analysis packs from Astranti. They're definitely going to help you to get 50 plus. And feel free to share this with any of your friends who are also doing SBL. I really hope it helps, and if you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I will get back to you on there. So I hope you found the video helpful, insightful, a bit entertaining, just to see what ChatGPT would do if they had to do the SBL exam. So what I'll do now is I'll leave another video for you on the screen and I'll see you on the other side to help you to pass. So thank you very much.